Yo, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Pastor Ron, and welcome to Game Day Gospel. Today's a Knicks tape Thursday. We get a chance to talk about my next couple of NBA things. Haven't been well lately, so it's the first day I could speak over a period of time without having a cough or a sore throat. So I'm not gonna push my voice too much today. I'm gonna make sure we talk and communicate and give a quick little drive-by as to what's going on in the NBA. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff of this podcast and get the word out. Comment, follow on Spotify, follow on Apple Podcasts, just to help this podcast and all my stuff grow. Amen. The big topic, man, the big thing everybody been talking about over the past couple days, past 24 hours with the NBA is this whole rule that was established by the league about load management, and you can't qualify for certain awards because if you miss more than 17 games, so if you don't play a minimum of 65 games, you won't qualify for many awards. And I understand why Adam Silver did it. I understand why he created this particular rule. And it's to combat the issue of players not playing these load management days, these prearranged rest days, etc., etc. And he had to figure something out in order to fix this. And I'm gonna play for you guys a clip. A clip's about a minute of Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith pretty much says, he responds to Tyrese Haliburton and says, Tyrese Haliburton is mad at the wrong person. The person that he should be upset with are the players. So please listen to this.
You're the National Basketball Association, and you have watched, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to call out. I'm not calling out every NBA player. I'm not talking about anybody who's had legitimate injuries. I'm talking about the fact that we're living in a day and age where you see people sitting out games to prevent injuries. They're not injured. They're preventing themselves from getting injured by sitting out games. Michael Jordan played in at least 78 games a season. In 12 of his 15 seasons, 9 times he played all 82 games. John Stockton, 16 times, all 82 games. Karl Malone, 10 times, all 82 games. Michael Jordan, Gary Payton, 9 times, all 82 games. Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, 5 times. Kobe Bryant, 4 times. Why didn't they do it? Because it wasn't just about them. It was about the league and really propping up the league and making sure you live up to a standard that was set before you. They did it for the future generation of players. We got nationally televised games popping up, and guys are choosing at their own volition. I'm not playing this game. I'm not going to sit out this game. So you know what? They came up with a strategy that's going to compel you to play in those games to ensure that you earn your damn money.
So, yeah, I get Stephen A. And I think low-key is partially clickbait. And, he just, part of his shtick, talking about these owners and all-stars are calling him and saying to him face. I think a lot of that is cap, man. I think Stephen A is, he's not the biggest guy on his own network anymore, bro. So he needs to calm down. Because, to be honest, right now, in terms of just being the biggest dogs on ESPN, it's Pat McAfee and Shannon Sharp, bro. Unc is doing crazy numbers in the podcast world, and Pat McAfee was the guy that he's so huge that he got ESPN, a Disney network, a family network, to okay cursing at like 12:30 in the afternoon. He is so huge that he got that stuff approved. So that shows what kind of clout he has. I try to catch his show, but then he's just here F-bomb or this and that. I'm like, yo, this is a madness. But I believe Stephen A. what he was trying to do, what he was trying to say is that the reason why this particular rule came into effect is due to other players. So I agree with him. I as a fan of the league, as a person that's I'm kind of in that in between generation where I grew up watching the '90s NBA, and I grew up watching Jordan, who played 82 games, I believe like 6 times in his career, and other guys that played back to backs. There was not load management. Load management actually came in effect through Greg Popovich, where he sat down Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and Tony Parker for a game against Orlando, and they actually got caught doing it, and that became a new trend where folks began to rest and to sit out, etc., etc., etc. So I've kind of seen both sides, and it sucks. I'm gonna tell you why it sucks for me on a personal level. I have 2 boys that love basketball. Like, they love basketball. They, like, they love, Ja Morant. They love Jalen Green. They're sick. My 10-year-old is a Sixers fan. Heavy with the Sixers gear and stuff. And my 5-year-old is now a Knicks fan. He has Knicks pajamas, and his favorite player. And the reason why he's a Knicks fan is because of Jalen Brunson. Like, he loves Jalen Brunson, how he plays, and he's a Knicks guy. So they're really big into the team, and I want us to go to a game together. But the problem is we just don't know who's playing. I remember last year we wanted to go to the Sixers and Memphis. I told them, unfortunately, I cannot afford some tickets for New York. New York tickets are just ridiculous for us 3, and I'm not sitting in the nosebleeds. That's just me. If you do it, it's cool, but that's just not my thing. So let's try to get some decent seats to go see Ja Morant, and up into the last minute, we weren't sure if he was playing. I believe they were on a back-to-back, and you know how these things are. So we ended up missing the game, and he ended up playing, and the game went into overtime. It was a great game that we missed. And the only reason why we can't buy tickets too far in advance is because we don't know who's going to play. Unlike football, even in baseball, like we're planning to go to a baseball game this year. I feel more comfortable buying the tickets in advance because I'm confident in who's going to play. And with the NBA especially, the NBA is a star-driven league, so that's important. And so I get it. It frustrates me with this load management. I think it's frustrating on so many levels that it's not fair. But it's not fair to us fans. Even watching the games at home, when you get these ABC games or these TNT and ESPN games that you see on the calendar, you circle on the calendar, you get commercials about the entire week. I'm gonna have my schedule work around that particular game, that particular day. I can't miss this, I can't miss that, and then to turn around to see a person sit out, person questionable. I'm big into NBA fantasy. Like, this has also taken my joy out of fantasy basketball because you just don't know who's going to play. So, I understand it, and I hate load management. I hate what it is. I hate this. I hate it. You think about years ago how these players played through everything, and you can't tell a player to play injured. I always say you can't. A player can't play injured, but they can play hurt, right? But who am I to say that? who am I to say what you can do? Like you can't come to me at my job and say, hey, you need to do this because people are depending on you. Like this past week, I just said I had the flu, and I had to kind of like a couple of things that I was scheduled to do. Like I had prayer, 6 a.m. prayer this morning, and I couldn't log on because I was drugged up past a rough night. I was like, you know what? Let me ask someone from my team to do it, right? I'm on schedule, so the safe bet. Don't know how I'll be in the morning. Let's try to get somebody to step in. I have that right. It's the same way you have that right. They have that right where they're ill, they're not 100%, and they don't play these games. So it's tough, man. I think what Stephen A. alludes to, he says it clearly. The reason why this is in effect is for a few. It's for the Ben Simmons. It's for the Kyrie Irvings. It's for the Kawhi Leonards. Those type of guys who, the James Harden who sat out a year because he wanted to get traded. These guys are the reason why we have this issue. Anthony Davis. To Anthony Davis' credit, he only missed 3 games this year, so big ups to him. But prior to that, it's because of these guys, man. Like, I don't know, man. And business wise, this is affecting the league because now they're about to, I think, in the next year or two, it's time for TV rights, a TV deal. And do you think ESPN is going to want to divvy out the same amount of money, especially if ratings are down because folks are not sure who's playing? Do you think the guys at Turner are going to want to sit there and divvy out bread if they're not sure that who's playing these games? So it's a dilemma. My solution was I thought they would either have non-guaranteed contracts or non-guaranteed contracts or just reduce the season. But the reason, here's the jacked up part about this, right? I hate to say this. The commissioner, like I want to remind you guys that the commissioner works for the owners, right? And you know guys like Goodell in the NFL, they complain this guy is just messed up. Yo, Goodell is? Goodell's Trump. Goodell is a guy that says, yes, this is what I do. I don't work for you players. I don't work for you fans. I'm here to make sure these owners make a lot of money. Adam Silver, on the other hand, it's like that. It's like Joe Biden, that sneaky racist who sits there and says, yeah, I'm pro player empowerment. Let's sit here and do this. Let's start this initiative. Let's help build basketball courts in Africa, et cetera, and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's do that. I love this idea. He's a great guy. He gets us. Nah. That bull is employed by the owners. And he's trying to make them the most amount of money. So that means, A, he's not going to reduce the season. Because if he reduces the season, that's less money in the owner's pocket. And also less money in the player's pocket because that's a smaller pie. B, he is not going to sit here and create a situation where these guys are feuding. So he has to find a compromise, something where both sides either look bad or both sides look good, as opposed to like a good versus evil type thing. So we sit here and he's in a spot to say, you know what? And again, I don't know. I forgot the young lady's name, who's the head of the NBA Players Association, but she's a joke thing, bro. She's a joke, bro. Cause I'm not gonna lie. When I heard that they got this, I was certain. I was certain as all could be that we were gonna have a strike. I had no doubt in my mind that because of this issue right here, they were going to have a strike in the NBA, but then come to find out that they sat here and they had a extension, a new agreement without any issues. Like, that junk don't smell right to me, man. Something's off. Something's off, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna find out, man. This John is fishy. It's fishy. So let's forget the blame, right? Let's forget all that. Let's forget all the issues and all the drama. Let's forget about all that. But at the end of the day, this is a jacked up situation where the owners have more control. This is why I wanted to say that Adam Silver works for the owners. So someone like Haliburton, let me read this quote before I talk about his case, right? You see, so Tyrese Haliburton said this. So just to give background, he was out for a few games with a bad hamstring, and he was out for a few games, and he came back against the Celtics on Tuesday. What's today? Yep, on Tuesday. He came back to play against the Celtics because, he's like, hey, I can't miss that many more games, right? So he said this. I think it's a stupid rule. Like plenty of the guys in the league. But this is what the owners want. So as players, we got to do our job and play in 65 games if we're able to. So that's what I got to do. Take care of my body and be able to play in those games. And I think you're seeing other players in the league kind of facing the same thing as long as the owner's happy. And this is why I said what I said. This is a rule that benefits the owners because if Tyrese Haliburton stubs his toe and he misses 5 games with a broken toe, here's what happens, right? So Tyrese Haliburton signed a 5-year max contract last offseason that goes into effect next season. So right now, it's worth a base of $204.5 million. But will go up to more than $245 million if he makes an all-NBA roster in the last year of his rookie deal, which is this season. That's why it goes into effect next season. So in essence, if he misses 4 more games, he loses $41 million. And do you know what the owner wants? The owners want him to miss 5 games, right? To be at the very minimum, but they still make the playoff runs. He plays at an all-NBA level, but yet he's unable to get the extra $40 million. So this is crazy, especially in this system. And this what's crazier about this system is like you have these writers, you have these journalists whoever votes for these all NBA teams and these awards, they hold so much power. If they don't like a particular person and they get into collusion, you can affect their pockets. In this case, if someone just slips, and it's not an issue of taking care of your body, of not being healthy, it's not a result of not being a good player. It could be a freak accident and you're missing games. Like, to me, like I said, I think the reasoning is I understand and I agree with the why, but I don't like the how. Why didn't they consider non-guaranteed contracts? They were going in that direction. Why not have a certain injury clause where if someone's legitimately hurt? Like, it should be something that's understood. If Haliburton slips on a piece of water on the court and you see the guy in pain, why not allow that guy to get the benefit of the doubt. It's because the owners are trying to make money. They want their cake and to eat it too. Have you noticed so far this year, there's been no talk about the owners losing money, the owners going broke, none of that. Because they have created something in order for them to sit here and to allow themselves to have their cake and eat it too. Because if Tyrese Haliburton misses, so is it 17 games? Misses 18 games, but he continued to do what he's doing, and the what's the team? And the Pacers go deep into the playoffs. What are we gonna do now? Yeah, the Pacers are gonna be happy, but then the owner's gonna be happy. We got a deep run. We're relevant again. B, but most importantly, we save $42 million. This is why I say, man. This is why I say, and on top of this, on Tuesday night, we have Joel Embiid. Not reports, but it was mentioned earlier in the day, Tuesday, that Joel Embiid can't miss any more games. He's 5, like he could only miss 5 more games by the end for the rest of the year, or he won't be eligible for any postseason awards, all NBA teams, MVP. Of course, he couldn't get any of that because he would miss too many games. And I'm not saying that's why he did what he did, but then instead of him being out or doubtful, it came to Joel Embiid is a game time decision. Mind you, the game is on TNT, so a nationally televised game against the Warriors. And then it got to, Joel Embiid tested his knee out at pregame, and he's going to play. And if you watch the game, if you watch Joel Embiid, he had a limp, but he wasn't 100%. Like, you could tell he wasn't right. You could tell that and again, I don't know if it's causation or correlation, but you see him sitting here, and then if you watch him, you see him kind of not being 100%, a little gimpy, and then he going through the game, and then towards the end of the game, in the second half, in the fourth quarter, 4 minutes to go left, Embiid was double teamed by Kuminga and Draymond Green. After Kuminga, he poked the ball away from Embiid. Embiid fell and dropped himself to the ground to retrieve it, and then Kuminga subsequently fell on top of his knee. And Embiid grabbed his knee, and he got up and he limped off to the locker room. Did not return. So here's your game minimum, right? Here's your minimum. You got this guy who obviously wants to be MVP, and that's perfectly okay. He is the MVP. So now he sits there and because he's the MVP, he goes around and says, I gotta play this game, so I gotta minimize my missed games. It's not even an All-Star game yet, and I have 5 games left. Sits there, does that, gets hurt. Again, it could be correlation or it could be causation. But at the end of the day, it happened. And I believe the only reason why he forced himself to play is because of the fact he was at a place where he sat here and felt the pressure of not missing any more games. So it's not fair for someone who's actually injured, because we could see he's actually injured. And when you have guys like a Ben Simmons is the biggest waste man. I need to get him off my fantasy squad immediately. He's the biggest waste man. I'm mad I started him tonight on fantasy. He missed all these games, and then he comes back and had a near triple-double on Monday, just to see on Wednesday, questionable and out. The frick out of here, guys. These are the guys you should be targeting, not Joel Embiid, not Tyrese Haliburton. These are guys you got to deal with. Don't make these contracts guaranteed. The NFL don't have this issue. Of course, it's a different dynamic, 17 games, but those contracts aren't guaranteed. Let us not sit here and ignore that. So we're sitting here, bro. I don't know, man. I really hope that Joel Embiid is not out too long. I really hope that we can find a solution to that, because we don't want people to put themselves in the line and they overcompensate and they play and they play because they want to get their $40 million and they get hurt for real. And you're also going to have so what if Embiid does miss 6 more games, right? Now it's 4 games he can miss. What if he misses those 4 games, 5 games? And Luka wins the MVP. Know what you're going to hear? Luka MVP, asterisk. The only reason why he was MVP is because of the fact Joel Embiid did not make the game minimum. It's crazy, bro. Like again, but Adam Silver had to create something that satisfied the owners. The only thing that owners care about is not the fans. The only thing the owners care about is their money. That's what makes that's like no one care about the fans. I'm not saying they don't care at all, but we're not a priority to these athletes and to these owners. They want to sit here and make the most amount of bread. So Adam Silver, guys, do not forget he works for the owners, and he created a system that is win-win for the owners. That they sat here and said, "A, we're not going to reduce it this season," because a lot of people thought that was the next step. B, we could sit here and make sure that we could discuss into this next negotiation window a huge contract, because we got an 82-game season that we're trying to promote, right? And 3, let's make sure we do this and still have the threat or the possibility of us saving money on the back end, because we're not obliged to give these players these max contracts. And you know what's mad, guys? You know what's crazy about this, people of God? It's the fact that the people that do load management are the teams. You don't think if Tyrese Haliburton is close to being at a point where he can sit here and get that max money activated, you don't think the owner, the GM is bringing the head trainer into their office, like, yo, listen, all right, here's what you got to do. Just make sure you remind Haliburton that hamstring, wink, wink, is a problem. He could miss if he plays too many games towards the end. It may cause him to be out for the playoffs. Come on, guys, let's smarten up here. So not only is this issue created by the owners, they created this. Popovich is not only the coach, but he's also the GM. He's the GM of the Spurs. He created this. These owners created this. Their teams, their trainers sit here and have these. They go through the calendar and say, "Hey, back to back, you can't play back to back. Hey, you can't play this game. Oh, it's after this long travel date. You can't play 4 games in 7 days." The teams create this. So how can the teams create an issue, right? And now try to create a solution to a problem they created, but they're blaming the players. So now the money is involved. They have even more of an incentive to sit here and have their players sit out and not hit the threshold, because they save this money. Not only do they save this money, the money that they may lose at tickets, they're getting back in contracts. That 40 M's they're gonna save in Haliburton money, that will cover the loss of money for contracts. We got to smarten up here, bro. This is this is crazy. Like Cole said in Martin, man, it's a conspiracy, man. How you spell Cole? C-O-N-spiracy. C-O-N-spiracy. That's what's going on out here. Got to smarten up, man. So, I mean, on one end, I don't like the load management. I don't like the inability for me to say, hey, I'm going to go to a game in March. I can't say that. I hate that. But I also don't like the way these owners and these teams are trying to fix it, because the owners aren't the issue. As these old school guys say, Jordan sat there and he didn't miss games, and I listen, I'm one of those guys, but I also have to be honest. I have to be honest. This was created by the owners, and we have to admit that this is a problem. But the way they're trying to fix it by doing this, where they're trying to twist players' arm to force them to play it, it's going to be a problem. And normally wouldn't be an issue, but the issue is this: Haliburton. Haliburton, who's like, yo, he's doing his best. He slipped on something, hurt his hamstring. He missed a game or two. Other issues here and there. What if you have COVID and you're out for 3, 4, 5 games? I think if we're gonna keep this system, it has to be something on a case by case basis, or just eliminate rest games. These rest days that teams have, eliminate them. Because you can't tell me all these years of advancement in technology that we can't create a system where players are able to play 82 games. Cut the crap. This only happens in the NBA. Hockey players play games, 162 games for the MLB. Football plays 17 games. This only happens to the Negroes in freaking NBA. It's just like working with black people in Chick-fil-A. They always try to find a way to miss work, right? Always trying to find some way to circumvent not coming to work, bro. Cut it out, my people. What the hell y'all doing? But I again, just like work, when folks used to call out to me like, hey Ron, I can't come to work. My guy, that's it. You just won't get paid for the day. I would never force people to come to work. I remember times they used to be like, hey Ron, so and so called out, man, but we had no one to cover her. Could you try to just see if you do a couple hours? Yo, their mom just died. What am I doing? This person's in tears. I'm sitting here saying, yeah, I know you're grieving right now, man. I'm sorry for your loss, but can you come to work for a couple hours? Maybe get away from everything. They feel a little bit better. Freaking A, bro. But that's the problem. So as we continue basketball, man, we can't ignore my New York Knicks, man. Listen, as much as I am, I'm trying to protect myself and not allow myself to get too excited by the Knicks. That's why the level of pessimism that I have is because I don't want my heart broken by the Knicks anymore. So that's kind of where we're at. We played 2 games without Julius Randle, dislocated his shoulder on Saturday, and OG and Anunoby. But they still keep winning, bro. I'm not mad at all, bro. I love to see the Knicks play well. I love like the one thing I want people to understand, like, I do this, right? if you look back at my Lamar Jackson and my NFL predictions and podcasts and stuff, like I know what the heck I be talking about, man. Like I understand what I'm talking about. So but in certain instances, like Lamar Jackson choking, and I don't like to be right. Like I would love this team to prove me wrong, and to not, and to win a championship. I would love it, but I just can't. I cannot. I cannot ignore what I see with my eyes. But end of the day, I'm here for the ride. I'm excited. I'm rooting for this team. I want us to do well. Let's okay. Jalen Brunson, he's shocking me, but the team has something about them that you love to see. I don't know. I let's hope for the best. Are they the 2011 Mavericks? Could they be that team where someone gets hot? That's maybe what they have to be in order for us to do it. But see, the one thing, and one of the reasons why I am leery about the Knicks is that if we go over the past 12 years or so, ever since that 2011 team, every single team has had a big time player, has had someone who is a top 10 player in the league on their team that won a championship. So, like, if we look at, let's go 2012. 2012, the Heat won, right? LeBron James. 2013, the Heat won. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, right? 2014 was Kawhi Leonard. That team was crazy. They beat the Heat. Kawhi Leonard was, at that time, one of the top 10, 15 players in the league. That's being generous. That was before the injuries. That was the claw. That was the time he sat there and was able to do all of that. 2015. See, this is a questionable team, and I need you guys to chime in. I know I'm gonna get some texts about this. The 2015 team, the Warriors beat the Cavs. That was the beginning of the rivalry, right? But that was the year Iguodala won the MVP, because Steph Curry, I don't think he arrived yet. Let's put it that way. And here's the obvious reason: he did not win. He did not win the MVP. So he didn't. He didn't. He was 24 points a game, 8 assists a game, 44% from three. Like, they haven't arrived yet. It wasn't Chef Curry. He was a defensive liability. He was still injury prone. That was the time he was on a cheap contract. He was on a max deal. All y'all who get upset about Steph and how much money he's made, he just started making money. Because around those first couple of chips, the reason why they were able to sign Kevin Durant was because of the fact he was still on a team-friendly contract, because of the fact he had bad ankles and stuff. So it still has, but that Warriors team had Clay, had Dre. So yeah, I will give him that's Curry. The 2016 was an infamous down 3-1. LeBron James, goal status confirmed, did that. The next 2 years, that was the infamous, let's get Kevin Durant to help us out. And in 17 and 18, they won with Kevin Durant. 2019, Kevin Durant's last year in Golden State when he tore his Achilles. That was sad. That was a tragic day. Kawhi Leonard, that Toronto team was just Kawhi Leonard and no one else, and he just dominated, bro. I gotta do a podcast on Kawhi Leonard, man, because I think he's low key underrated because of all the low management and all the crap around him. So 2019, Kawhi Leonard, yes, top 5, top 10 in the league at the time. 2020, that's the bubble year. LeBron, obviously, and they also had AD. 2021, Giannis beat the Suns. 2022, Steph was definitely top in the league because he finally got his Finals MVP. And last year, Jokic was the man, and he did his thing in order for them to get the championship. So I believe the odds percentage, and like I said, I only went back since 2011. That was the only year. I could go before that when they had Kobe, where Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Tim Duncan and Dwayne Wade. You know, I could go back, you know, maybe the 2004 Pistons when they had the Rip Hamilton and them guys and Rasheed and Chauncey Billups. So let's say 2 championships, 04 and 11. Let's be generous. 2 championships in the last 20 years. The NBA champion did not have. But can I backtrack? Dirk. And the only reason why I would not put Dirk there as top 5 in his, because that was towards the tail end of his career. So let's not look. So what I'm saying, at the time, Dirk was at the tail end of his career. And he wasn't the reason why. Yes, he was the Finals MVP, but they couldn't give it to they couldn't give it to Jason Kidd. They couldn't give it to Tyson Chandler. They couldn't give it to Terry. Those are the guys that won them the championship. Not as much Dirk. So and at the time, Dirk was not top 5, even top 10 in the league. He was towards the tail end of his career. So yeah, so 2 out of 20. So exactly 20. 2 out of 20. We sat here and said they didn't have a top 10 player in the league. No top 10 player in the league, and they won a championship. So the problem with the Knicks, we ain't got a top 10 player in the league. As much as I love Jalen Brunson, and what he's doing is amazing. Jalen Brunson is not top 10 in the league, guys. Jalen Brunson is not top 10 in the league, guys. Like I said, I love the guy. You know, and these lists are fluid. You know, these lists are constantly changing. But if we're looking at top players, let's go top 10 and see. And I'm gonna give you top 10 players. Tell me where you would fit Jalen Brunson. Number 10. All right, let's go from one on down. Number 1 is Giannis. I'm sorry. Number 1 is Joel Embiid. Number 2 is Giannis. Number 3 is Jokic. Number 4, Luka. Number 5, Shea. Let's not forget the GOAT. That's 6. Curry, 7. Jason Tatum, 8. Kevin Durant, 9. I said Shea already, right? That's 9. The way he's playing and being able to catch all these games, gotta give AD some credit. Who else? Is Jalen Brunson better than Kawhi Leonard right now? All of y'all talking about him sitting here missing all these games. He's missing these games. He's balling. When healthy, is he better than Ja Morant? When healthy, is he better than Kyrie Irving? So I can't. He's not that guy. He's a great player, bro. Respectfully, he's a great player. But he's not that guy. We may. Is he better than Tyrese Haliburton? We're just talking about them. I don't think so, bro. Excuse me. I don't think so, bro. So I'm not gonna pile on. So I made my point. He's not top 10 in the league. So we can catch lightning in a bottle and sit here and say, yo, let's ride this out. Pause and see what happens. Keep all these points. Team is hot. Let's keep it as is. Let's ride it out. I hope that we're like the 2011 I call it 2011 Mavericks, 2004 Pistons, that we can sit here and do that. You know, we can do that. But I think what we can also do is be aggressive. And there is a name. There is a name that has been floated, and I think he will be the perfect guy. The perfect player for the Knicks. Right now we're second in defense, right? 15th in offense. What is the one thing that I said we need? What's the one thing I said this team needs? It's a closer. And the way things are looking, there's one guy that we can get, I believe, right now, and he can help us close. There's one guy that has the trade deadline approach, because we cannot. This will be malpractice if we allow the the Fournier contract just to expire, and we don't sit here and try to find a way to flip it, right, and use it to our advantage. So the one guy, I think, he's currently averaging 21.4 points a game, 4.4 assists a game. He has that championship pedigree, 44% from threes, 1.2 steals a game. And that guy is Jimmy Butler. Jimmy freaking Butler is the guy we need. Here's the package. We'll put in Grimes, Fournier, 3 1s for Jimmy Butler. That's it. If we do that right now, bro, then that changes. So if we don't, not saying Jimmy Butler's top 5 in the league, but playoff time, he's top 5. Playoff time, if you need a closer, Jimmy's your guy. Let's keep it a bean. Here's the problem that we have. I don't know if Miami is willing to trade with the Knicks. You know, we're beefing. You know, James Dolan's freaking mafia. So he's gonna sit here and you know, once he gets mad at somebody, he gets mad. He'll never forgive you. So I don't know if it's realistic for that particular reason, but I'll kick some tires, bro. For a guy averaging 21, 5 rebounds and 4 assists and 1.2 steals a game, bro, and he's under contract, I would kick tires to try to get that guy on the team. We're not getting any young players, guy. We're not getting these modern players. If it's not Anthony Edwards who wants to play every game, we're not getting the cats. We're not getting the all these young guys everybody. So we're not getting Devin Bookers. They're not going anywhere. I don't want Bradley Beal. He's not. No, if he struggles in Phoenix, you have a tough time in New York. And I don't know if Jimmy Butler had issues with Tibbs from the time in Minnesota. So defensive guy, closer. I mean, outside again, not knowing any previous drama, if there is, he seems like a Tibbs kind of guy. Hardworking, nose to the ground, let's win. You know, he's a dog, and I think that's the guy we need, bro. You know, the Knicks need Jimmy Butler, guys. So I need for you guys to get in the DMs of Leon Rose. I need y'all to tweet him. I need you to tag him on your Instagram to get Jimmy Butler in New York. Like I said, three ones. Grimes and what's that guy's name? Fournier. You want Miles McBride? Take Miles McBride too. Whatever, and allow the Heat to build their team around Jacquez, Tyler Hero, and Bam Adebayo. Right? They'll get them picks, get a point guard, and do their thing. But will Pat Riley ever trade with the Knicks? That's the one hindrance, bro. But maybe we can make him an offer he can't refuse. I mean, while this team is playing so well, we have to be active. And we got to find another score. That's my thing. The only reason why we're able to win these last two games that we kind of like had a couple of great performances. And, you know, we actually had to grind these games out to like 90s basketball. Like I was watching the game against Charlotte. It was like 31-35 in the second quarter. Late second. So I'm like, that's how we got to do it. Slow it down. And we need to get some help for Jalen. Because if not, it's going to drive him to the ground. What do you guys think, man? What are you guys thinking? Is Jimmy Butler realistic? If he's not, what's the alternative? We cannot stand pat, and we cannot waste this contract. Because if I sit here and see February 9th, February 10th, I see on the bottom ticker that says, hey, the Knicks have just bought out Evan Fournier. I'm going to be pissed off. His contract is an asset. Right? Send him somewhere where we could get something back. So, yeah, so that's my thought, man. Jimmy Butler's the guy. That's the guy we need to come after. That's the guy we need to chase after right now. I'll take him over DeJounte Murray. I like Zach LaVine. I understand he's not a winner, but I like the guy. There's a lot of talent there. He's a scorer, and that's it. He'll score. Minimal on defense, minimal in the locker room, but he'll score the heck out of a basketball. So that's definitely something y'all look at, but. My main priority is getting Butler right now. And enjoying the ride, man. Enjoying these wins. We played the Pacers today. That should be another dub. That might be kind of tough. Haliburton's back. And OG's questionable. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. But thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate my voice. Dang. My voice pretty much stood up, man. I'm so grateful. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you guys having a good week. I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you guys. God bless y'all.